Welcome back, everybody, to Reality Radio Podcast. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Reality Radio Pod. My name is Andrew Kirk. Whitney and Stefan, unfortunately, can't join us today, but I'll be writing solo. I got a very special guest today. I haven't talked to him and haven't talked to this guy in a minute. I'm so glad he's back. You guys can find him on Twitter at Bruno. Oh, I hate when I do this. Bruno BG, right?
Bruno GB.
Bruno G. I've done this before. I've messed up people's Twitter names right when I plug them. It's Bruno Betancourt. How we doing, Bruno?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
Great. It's glad to see you back on TV, even though it was for a brief stay from the Challenge Invasion.
Whole 2 episodes, better than nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. So how's everything going with you? We haven't seen you in a while.
I mean, since the last time we talked, things were good at first, for like a whole year. And then the second year, the last middle or earlier in 2016 towards 2017, things obviously started to get a lot more rocky and stability wasn't there. And, I was just living this crazy lifestyle and it caught up to me, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to let everybody know that's watching. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask Bruno, tweet myself at CSUGradAKirk, and we will definitely try to get to them. So my first question is, I remember talking to you. It was on Reality Radio Podcast on Block Talk Radio. I felt like you weren't feeling the real world as far as your addict went. We didn't see you on a couple challenges the first 2 seasons. What made this season 29, the right time for you to come back? In your mind?
With how I was portrayed in the first Real World, there was many elements to it, and there was ways it could have been edited. Unfortunately, I was the bad guy role, and I gave them enough footage of that, and I was just fed up with it. So, that's why I did say no to the challenges, the first challenges I was asked for. And either way, I was not in the right place mentally. Even though I'm sure a lot of people would have loved it, 1, I was still jacked at the time. 2, I was I still would have been not crazy, but not as level-headed as I am now. You know what I mean? So, what was it? This was the 3rd time. This 3rd time they asked me, it was an opportunity, and I had so much going on. And, I legit was homeless. I lost so much weight. I was walking around 160, which is the lowest I've ever been in years. And they told me I had a month to prep. Even though typically I'm always in the gym. I'm always working out. I'm always training, doing something different, boxing, MMA, whatever. Unfortunately, given the circumstances, I gave it my all. Obviously, the food wasn't there. The food intake, the calories just wasn't there. But I still got my ass up. Went to Thailand and showed up and did what I had to do at the end of the day, given the circumstances I did. So people always complain to this and that. I wish some of you guys would go through half the situation I've been to and get up and do what I've done. Not many people's going to be able to do it. That was a real situation. I literally was living out of my Jeep. And sometimes I stayed at my boy's house, but he had to pull teeth for me, And I wasn't sitting there complaining, but there's some days I didn't even have a meal. You know what I mean? I was hurting for a meal. You know what I mean? But I wasn't sitting there complaining and asking nobody for help.
Yeah. That was a very strong story we saw in the premiere 2 episodes. And I mean, people think that, you go on the show like the Real World, you're gonna get everything handed to you on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not the case. But I'm glad everything's going well though.
Thank you. Yeah, things literally started to pick up within these last 2 weeks, job, getting my feet back. I had to get rid of my Jeep, unfortunately, especially after investing so much money. But big thing that screwed me is, every man has their poison. Some people like alcohol, some people like drugs. I like cars. And I literally blew probably $160,000 in 3 years just on cars alone, buying them cash.
Mm-hmm. So going into the season, obviously on this season, the Challenge Invasion, you have 3 of your former roommates. What was your relationship with Tony, I know you and Nicole were close in the World House. What was your relationship with Tony, Nicole, and Sylvia going into this challenge?
So Nicole and I have always been friends. We've obviously seen each other plenty of times prior to this. What you guys saw in the Real World, that remained all the way through. I've never fought with Nicole. We've always remained best friends. Tony and Sylvia, I despise both of them. I didn't talk to them for a whole 2 years. literally the first time I talked to them was when we all met up in LA, and we talked, and we reconciled, and we were like, oh, we're over it, we're older now. And I almost thought I would have never forgave Sylvia for what happened, but she forgave me, I forgave her, and she literally just started crying the moment we saw one another. And it was good. It was like a huge weight off my shoulders, and it was good going into this. At least I knew I had some people for back or whatever, you know what I mean? Plus we're on a whole season together. You can't just throw it out the window.
I was thinking the whole Skeleton Alliance. I mean, I knew you and Nicole were close, but I wasn't sure. I remember talking with you on the Block Talk Radio show, and I knew how you felt about Tony. I knew how you felt about Sylvia. So to see that, there was an alliance, I was kind of confused, but at the same time, I realized season lines, you obviously got to stick together.
Yeah. And I even told them, regardless if we ever apologized and got along, I mean, we rolled in together. We're gonna kind of try to get each other there. You know what I mean? Because we don't know half these people. I know I didn't, and it's not like I was trying to make alliances, but it was kind of an unspoken bond. I got you. You know what I mean? Out of anybody, I got you. You know what I mean? Just with Corey, I know Corey outside of the show. Him and I hung out and lived together during spring break, so that was an unspoken bond. I got you. You know what I mean?
So outside of those three and Corey, were there any ones that are pulling up in LA, going to Thailand? Were they the ones that you've met before prior?
No, I don't really know anybody and talk to. Most of them I just met for the first time there, and I didn't know what a lot of them were from because I don't really watch TV. And, I mean, most people I literally just met for my first time there.
Who were some of the ones that you met that you clicked with right away from the show?
I clicked with Nelson right away. I actually ended up clicking with Theo too. Him and I shared a room. He's a cool dude. Let me see who else. I clicked with everybody. I mean, after some time being there, but instantly it was definitely Nelson and Theo. I got along really well with them.
So moving on, when you guys get to the shelter, you guys see there's no champions there. So what was going through your guys' heads seeing, there's no people like Johnny Bananas, there's no people like CT, people that we're going to see in a few episodes that you unfortunately didn't get to see? What was it like seeing just all people that have never won a challenge before?
I mean, everybody speculates, everybody talks. The thing is within this, all the people on the TV, nobody knows how to keep their mouths shut. And you can't help it. Everybody starts speculating what's going on. We had an idea. We weren't sure. And then when we had an idea, we're like, oh, they're definitely coming. And then we're like, what the hell's going on? We're like, are we really just here? Nobody was really 100% sure, but they constantly speculated that the champions were coming in. And, I mean, we just kind of went forward. And I remember saying, who was I said it to? I think it was Tony. Everybody was like, oh, this is going to happen. I'm like, yo, let's just enjoy ourselves. If that comes, then we'll deal with it then. You know what I mean? Because everybody just speculates constantly.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you guys can do without TV, without anything pretty much. And I mean, you guys weren't even in a nice house. So, I mean, you guys probably speculated even more, I'm assuming.
Listen, I loved it. I wish they showed. I was probably the only person not complained once about living out there in the shelter. I embraced the hell out of it.
So about the shelter, I mean, I'm sure you've probably heard of a former season called The Island where they didn't get anything. Was it different on this time? I mean, did you guys get food from production? Did you guys get booze? What were the type of things that you guys got that they provided you guys in the shelter?
So as we all unloaded off the boat, we're looking around, where the hell's the house? Is it through there? And we're all overlooking this shelter. We're look, because there was almost a house setup or whatever. It's all open, near where we stayed, but obviously that's for production and stuff to stay in. So we're like, no way, this is our house. Because then we looked and we see all the camera setups around the wooden built roofs and whatnot. And we all go into survival mode instantly. We're looking, we find jars with just a little bit of peanuts and cookies and pretzels. And we're trying to ration the foods with and the fruit as well. We're trying to ration everything. And some people are just already eating theirs. I'm hiding mine. Don't touch my food, because clearly, if you remember on Real World how I fought about the burger. But
I remember that.
I remember I started a fire. I was the first one to get a fire rolling. We just went in survival mode. But they did provide us with some forms of food and some booze every week or something.
Nice. Yeah. I'm sure. I think I remember seeing the video. I think it was Corey who brought it out. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, they're not going to treat them like the island. The island was terrible as far as living conditions. I mean, you guys had it okay, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was beating people down, but like I was just embracing it. I was loving it. You know, like it was a beautiful experience, a beautiful island to begin with. I was always in the ocean or by the sand running. And the days felt long, so it gave you more sense of realness to life. And I just loved it. I truly embraced it. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something I can't remember. Continue.
Yeah. So you guys find out there's no champions there first, and then you guys also find out it's an individual challenge. So I mean, going into your very first challenge, finding out that you're going to be by yourself, how did that feel?
They said it was individual, but the way I took it as, like looking at it, it's literally worker ants following in a line. That's how it went down. Literally on the first wall we had to get over, there was like 3 ropes up top, 3 or 4 ropes, whatever. And you know, by yourself, ain't nobody gonna be able to, within a day's period, be able to build a whole mountain to climb. It was about 30 feet high or something like that. And you couldn't even jump to reach it. You literally had to build it high enough to where you could reach and extend that rope. And then after this, the first main wall, you had to dig under, and you know that's a team effort. And then once you get to the idols, it's kind of like in sequence. There was 3 on each like setup. There was three lines of rope with 3 idols on each setup. So regardless, as much as they say it was free agents, it was the people that came first were the ones who were selfish enough to go ahead without worrying about people being pushed through. So it's like what I took it as is like people were like messaging, like writing some. I got a lot of love, and I'm not complaining. A lot of people like always complaining. Like I helped a lot of people, and it wasn't even Tony. I know Tony got a lot of backlash. It was a few other people that they didn't show that I helped out, and it's not even that I was trying to quit. My idol was literally set up for failure. Like do you honestly believe that some of those women and men there could do it and I can't? Like get out of here. Like people are on drugs. So like I was there for 2 hours while everybody was done. They edited it to make it look like it was kind of at the same time I quit after Hunter completed this, because it was Hunter, Nelson, and I, the last one stuck. You honestly think us 3 are the weakest? Like there's no chance. And they were able to get their idols over mine. So tell me, how am I able not to move my idol, but they could get theirs over mine? Some people actually screenshotted a picture of the clip of the rope that and how it was tangled and knotted. There was no way. Like people literally messaged me this. I'm saying probably more than 15 people messaged me like saying, "Oh, you got robbed. You got like set up for failure." Literally, people literally did this for me and they showed me. And I was like, that's what I kept saying to everybody. Like, listen, elimination, I lost fair and square, hands down. Body weight was a whole factor. Tony beat me fair and square. The challenge, it was bullshit. But I only blame myself. Had I not helped nobody, I would have grabbed a different idol because I was ahead of a lot of people to begin with.
Yeah, from what I remember, and I've only watched it once. I rewatched like I think I rewatched the second hour. It re-aired, and I watched some of it. I remember how tangled yours was. Yours was like very tangled compared to the other ones.
I was pulling, cutting crazy slack. Like, listen, I had 0 issues on the challenge. Even though I had a month to prep, I was not gassed. I had energy, stamina. Like, I felt good going into this. Listen, building that, it was 5 against 12. I was grabbing 2 buckets when people were grabbing 1. Listen, I had 0 issues. When I got to the idol, it had nothing to do with strength, intelligence. It was just stuck, and that was it, bottom line.
Yeah, who was on, for people who don't remember watching the episode, who was on each side of this first challenge?
So on the first challenge, it ended up being, naturally, when we ran down, it ended up being Tony, Corey, Kayla, and Jenna. And I'm literally in the middle. I'm watching this whole side team up, and I'm like, I should just go over there. But see, me, I'm not a PUSSY. You know, I'm not going to leave a bunch of people hang, especially when I'm cool with Corey. I was cool with Jenna and Kayla. You know, and Tony especially. Like, Tony and I got along so well. I probably had the most fun and laughs with Tony. Like, I wish they showed it. Everybody's, like, been talking and laughing, saying, like, we switched roles. I'm, like, the partier, and I was drinking a lot while I was out there, and he's, like, jacked and tan now. Because, you know, like, in real world, I was, like, the jacked and tan one. He was the drinker, and the roles were reversed.
Yeah. So, yeah, we see you go in the first elimination. The whole voting process, how surprised were you when the girls voted and Sylvia voted for Tony?
I mean, I wasn't surprised. I already kind of knew the direction she was heading. You know, you hear everybody talking on the island. Tony was getting a lot of heat, and she could have. I wonder how that would have went, because had she voted for Theo, it would have been a tie. So I don't know how that would have went down. But I mean, like, Sylvia came up and talked to me. Like, listen, she had a tough decision. I get that. And, you know, and I even told her, because obviously if it was me, I was like, you know, you owe these people nothing. Like, they were all in her ear and stuff. And you know, some people are emotionally stronger and not. Like, you could even see in the episode, I'm like, listen, you don't owe these people nothing. And she doesn't owe us nothing neither, but it's like an unspoken bond. And, you know, do I understand Tony's perspective? I do. Do I understand Sylvia's? I also do. You know what I mean? Like, I told both of them, I'm civil with both you guys, and that's how I'm going to leave it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's you versus Tony, and then the girls voting Kayla, which I wasn't surprised with. I thought going in that Anika was going to go in, because I mean, she was the one fresh off the Real World.
Yeah.
I don't think their season. I think their season was like maybe 5-6 episodes, and then when you guys filmed it, so it's like to see that she survived the first vote was kind of surprising.
See, the thing is with Anika, she's very quiet and she's cool. She's easy to get along with. So a lot of people liked her. So I don't know. I don't know if they were saving her.
She definitely for at least the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, listen, people liked her. I liked her. I liked her myself. She's a very sweet girl. I still do. I still talk to her.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Kayla, Marie, and you and Tony. You unfortunately fall short. I'm glad you came though. I'm glad. I thought after Real World, okay, Bruno, he had a rough experience on Real World Chicago. He's probably not going to do a challenge, and you know what? If he doesn't want to do one, I'm fine with that. But I'm glad you did it, man.
Yeah. See, most people, you know, when they do Real World, they're hoping to do the challenge. And when I did Real World, it was just an opportunity, and I did it. I wasn't like hoping for nothing else. You know, most people rely on that dream, and it's just like, I had other things going. I wasn't worried on it. But you know what? I had a way better experience on the challenge than I did my whole Real World season. And I would do the challenge again because several people asked me. I love the challenge. I just wish it wasn't so much politics as it was actual competing. And that's just what it is. You know, unfortunately, you know, like people not thinking I'm the competitor or not. Like, we're talking about 174-pound Bruno had a month of prep. We're not talking about 215-pound Bruno who was constantly in the gym training and boxing. You know what I mean? Right. Those are two different Brunos. Plus, I'm laid back. I'm different now. I'm level-headed. You know what I mean? I was still getting my blows in. You know what I mean? On the competition, I was too worried about throwing his body weight up. And you, at the end of the day, no matter how strong you are, 230 and 170 is a big difference. You know what I mean? But I was still in there. Like, people calling me a quitter. If that was the case, I would have never done the elimination. I would have just said, fuck it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like Tony. Not Tony. TJ gave you credit. He said you gave it a good run.
Well, they edited it out. He actually
liked the first elimination.
He actually was like, "Oh, he's like, you quit on the challenge, but he's like, you definitely, word for word, verbatim, he's like, you definitely made up for it with your hard hits." He said that hands down. Like he said, you made up for it with those hard hits. And him and I actually talked off camera. We ended up talking. You see my scars, I've seen his, and him and I have been through hell and back. So we talked a lot.
Yeah. So what I really want to know, and this is like one of the biggest questions I wanted to ask you. So when you come home, you get the call, you find out your ex-girlfriend gets on the challenge and you just missed it. How did you feel about that?
Oh, Ashley?
Ashley was on the challenge.
See, the thing is,
Zach too, as a matter of fact, because she dated Zach as well.
There was something else I'm not going to talk about.
How much of a cluster F would that have been had you been there and both Ashley and Zach pull up?
All right, so there was something else that happened, but I'm waiting till the episodes as I go to see if they say anything. So I'm going to keep it to myself for now. It's some very gritty details of what happened there, but I'm going to keep it to myself for now. But the thing is, Ashley and I were talking quite a bit prior to it, and you know, we've always just been civil. You know, when we dated, it was more like not a fling, but like she was my mental stability after Real World. You know, and so I felt for her. Like, I was in a very vulnerable state, and we only saw each other once, so you know, it wasn't like nothing crazy. Like, there was no issues there. There would have been no jealousy. I mean, who the hell knows? You know what I mean? Like, whether Zach being there, like, he dated her years ago. You know, so to me, it was nothing. But But I knew she was gonna be there, like if they did come, and I was ready for that. I mean, there was nothing there, but like, we talked all the way up until the challenge was coming up. So honestly, I don't think there would have been no issues, but you never know.
Yeah, like, how crazy would editing have taken it? Like with you, Ashley, Zach, Jenna. I mean, it would have been. They would have taken it like to crazy proportions. I mean, I could have seen it now. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it could have went anyway, especially people being locked down in the house. But obviously, you guys see what's out there on social media, who she's with now, and you know, who knows if I would have went for anybody. I was literally not. I wasn't really interested in doing nothing out there. I was just focused, being a good boy.
Yeah. Was there anybody from this challenge that you had your eye on that you were like, oh damn?
I'm gonna have to keep that to myself to see if something airs.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I had my like top 3 there.
Who were your top 3?
If I remember correct, I think I said Jenna. I think I said Anika, and I don't know. I can't remember who. Maybe Marie. Maybe I did say Marie. I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want a TV girl. It's easy. Like people get flustered, and I just don't want what comes with it. You know what I mean? The territory behind it. So I'd rather not.
Yeah, I hear you. So I mean, you said you want to come back and do it again?
Yes, sir. I'm definitely willing to do another one. Hopefully by the time it comes up, I'm able to get back in position to where I was and whatnot, you know, because I have a lot of building up I need to do again.
Mm-hmm. Is there a particular format that you're hoping that they do, or like, is there something in your mind that you're like, oh, this would be a cool format? Like what, or is there a format that you've seen in the past or you've heard of in the past that you'd be like, okay, this would be cool?
My attitude is honestly whatever. Like whatever they throw, like I'm ready to do it. You know what I mean? Like nothing could even prep you for a challenge. Like when you're first there, no matter what kind of training you do, I get that most of these people have done challenges, but when I went there, I just went open-minded. I'm like, I'm ready for whatever. You know what I mean?
That's how you.
So honestly,
got to do it.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather not sit there and predict and create thoughts. I go, I show up, I do what I got to do. And that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. So what I want to do now is I want to go for about 10 more minutes, and I want to. I do this with guests that I have on the show during the challenges. I'm gonna give you a person on the cast, and I want initial thoughts of them, and we can go from there. So, I want to name ones that we haven't talked about yet. We've talked about Nelson briefly. How was things with Nelson on in the shelter?
Nelson's cool dude. I mean, besides him and Tony arguing and stuff, I like Nelson. He's a cool dude, humble. I seen a lot of the hate he got. I don't really understand it, but I mean, listen, I have zero issue with Nelson. I personally like Nelson, and that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Nelson. He was great on Rivals 3. The way that he stepped into the argument with you and Tony, I didn't really get. I mean, editing kind of made it like, oh, he has always hated Tony, but it's like I didn't really get it, you know.
I get he was just trying to get my back because, like I said, him and I clicked, and he was probably like down, but like I also understood Tony. Tony does understand how I am. Was maybe more like was like once I get something in my head, that's what I go with. But you know, I was actually the one that stepped in and like pushed him away because I don't want them going home for me. You know, I was. Like bottom line, I don't want to see that. I don't want to be the reason that happened. So I intervened.
Yeah, it was hilarious Tuesday night when when you guys are getting fight, and then out of nowhere Nicole gets in, and then they go to commercial, and her face was like,
"Oh yeah," she's like, "Ah."
It was hilarious.
Yeah,
moving on, another one that one guy that we haven't seen. I've been a challenge fan, Bruno, since God knows I was in junior high when it started, and then there is a guy, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, who's hasn't been on a challenge in over 10 years. What was your initial thoughts of Mr. Shane?
Yo, Shane's a funny dude. He's cool. I guess I'm his boy crush, and which is obviously flattering, but he's a cool dude. I actually got along well with Shane. We talked quite a bit, and just cool dude. Like I didn't really remember him, but he was on Road Rules, right?
Yeah, he was on he was on Darrell's season.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit, I remember this guy. But he's cool. Like he says, he's a queen, like a drama queen or whatever. I don't know. But he's actually a very cool dude.
Yeah, I bet. I was like, we discussed it the first episode yesterday, Whitney and I, and we were like, Shane's back. Like, I would have never thought that. Like last challenge he was on, I was a sophomore in high school, Bruno.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but he looks mad young, especially person probably has like the nicest skin out of everybody. He looks like a young guy.
Yeah, he did very well in the first challenge, though. I think he got like maybe third or fourth. So I mean, he did very well.
Yeah, he's actually pretty well conditioned. You could tell he's conditioned.
Moving on to another guy you actually mentioned a little bit, fresh off this past real world. I don't know. I want to get your thoughts on real quick. Obviously, you came from a twist season, Rural Skeletons. What were your thoughts on these last two real worlds? I feel like I feel like these real worlds they haven't been very good, in my opinion.
I honestly have not watched a single episode of any of them. I caught clips because I wanted to watch Theo's season, because I obviously know Theo and Anika, and I will eventually watch it. And I also talked to that couple, Jenna. That couple. I forgot the names right now. What's the two couples that dated? Peter and right.
Peter and Jen.
Yeah, I talked to them. Yeah. Through messages and stuff, and they're cool. So like now that I talked to them, I actually want to watch it. And like I would watch them. I'm not really want to sit here and watch TV. So
yeah. I don't know. Like I wish they just. I mean, your guys' season was great. Explosion was great, but honestly, I wish they'd just stop overdoing these twists.
Well, I think they presented it at the perfect time because Real World's been around so long. There's only so much racism you can show. Lesbians, gays, those topics get old for people. And and I've read comments like the Skeleton cast was probably the most dysfunctional cast. That's why we were so entertaining to watch. As much as people hated a person or not, that created the real TV because we were very dysfunctional, and it seems like we still are. So I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I personally think Real World needs to create a different format or try to keep it original, or it's just an old show. Time to hang up the belt and look into something new.
Yeah. So going back, what were your thoughts on meeting Theo?
It's funny because him and I almost had not like Twitter beef, but I saw something about the whole Wolfpack thing. Somebody sent me a clip, and they were trying to say they were the original Wolfpack. I'm like, how you the original when we were here before y'all, 2 seasons before? So literally, the first time he met me, he's like, oh, you're the Wolfpack guy, right? I'm like, yeah, the original, playing around. And we ended up actually having rooms together, which him and I. And we clicked, we talked, and we were just open. Theo's a cool dude. I feel like a lot of people don't like Theo, but I mean, personally, I didn't see nothing wrong with the dude. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he was one of a very small list of people I liked from that season.
Yeah, he's laid back, he's chill. You know what I mean?
It was a shame that he got sent home so soon.
I heard, especially for nothing. I mean, hey, I should have been sent home. I mean, I almost did, but
wait, it's been a while since you season aired. What did you do that almost got you sent home?
When did I do the what?
What did you do that almost got you sent home?
I was putting my hands on Tonia's brother, the whole flipping out on Sylvia thing, and
that's right,
shit and breaking shit.
That's right. I forgot you almost put your hands on Shane.
Well, I was just going at both of them. I was just all out of it because I pushed through Jason and Nicole and my brother.
So yeah, that was a rough time for you because didn't your grandfather unfortunately passed away during that time period?
Yeah, there was a lot going on. I wasn't open on Real World like I was on the challenge, And I guess it worked out because I received a lot of love and a lot of positive feedback, and a lot of people who either some form of way related to me, and I listen to all you watch right now. Thank you for all the love. Seriously, it's been overwhelming, and I just appreciate it. And that's kind of why I do it. Listen, I didn't get up and move and say I'm an actor and this and that. I'm a real guy with real issues, and I like to work like a regular real person. So just a lot, I do it for the people that message me and they're positive and listen, you motivated me to do this. I message a lot of people back, and I try to help them out on a physical and mental level, and that's really why I do it.
Great. That's great. So let's go a couple more guys, and then we'll move on to a couple of girls. One of the ones that I'm glad he made his debut from Are You the One is Hunter. What was your thoughts about meeting Mr. Hunter?
Um, Hunter, Southern gentleman. I don't know if that's self-proclaimed, but he was cool. Him and I actually had a moment when we were out swimming. It was just him and I, no cameras, and we talked. And he was sharing some real ass stories with me, and I shared some real stories with him. And I was like, yo, it's cool, that he was able to open up and talk to me. You know what I mean? So I had a cool moment with Hunter, but again, my experience is not gonna be what most people's are. Like the longer you stay there, people get under one another's skin. I literally listen. I'm a winner. I had zero issues with anybody. No drama. I have fun. I know. Surprise, surprise.
That's great. That's great. Like I said, top of the show. Like I could hear in the sound of your voice when we were talking, you and I, a couple years ago, back when Real World Skeletons was airing. You weren't. I mean, I'm sure you enjoyed the experience, but for the most part, it wasn't the best experience for you. Am I right?
I literally enjoyed the experience the first month. The rest of the two,
yeah.
Hated it.
So a couple more. Actually, I'll just move on to some of the girls. So you talked about Anika. What was your impressions of Miss Anika?
Anika's definitely sexy. She got that creamy, nice skin color. Beautiful smile. Beautiful smile. And out of all the girls there, she's classy. You could tell, you know what I mean? And I like class. And she definitely reserved, classy, cool. I like Anika, and this is the reason why I still talk to her. She's a cool girl, you know what I mean? I mean, we're friends, that's all, but I mean, she's a sweet girl, very sweet, very genuine, just down to earth, you know what I mean? I click with real personalities, bottom line, and that's what she is. So that's why I still choose to talk to her here and there, like when we get the chance.
Did you see when she fell off the boat?
Listen, it wasn't only her that fell off. Nelson, I think, fell off. I think Theo, or was it Latoya? It was 3 or 4 people that fell off.
Doesn't surprise me. I love Latoya. She was one of my very first couple guests when I started podcasting.
Literally flopped.
Surprising that she'd fall off.
Yeah.
I love her.
We were just laughing. I guess we were assholes, but I mean, we laughed. It was funny.
MTV was like, "Oh, we're just gonna pick one, so we'll pick the best one."
Yeah.
Oh man, we can move on to Latoya. What did you think about Miss Latoya Jackson?
Latoya is the next Oprah. She's like tea time Latoya. I never really talked to her. I mean, I kind of kept it to myself. I was always in the guy section. I'm not really want to open up to females. So a lot of them thought I was cocky or douchey because I'm not like the other guys. I'm not up their asses trying to talk to them. I do me at the end of the day. I didn't come out here looking for a girl, looking for love or anything. I'm focused. You know what I mean? So a lot of the girls had this misconception of who I was, and I'm like, that's so judgmental. You guys don't know me. Rather than getting to know me, you're gonna judge me. But the only time I really talked to Latoya, I mean, she's cool, sweet girl. I had no issues with her neither. The only time I really talked to her is when they were asking all these guys questions, how big we were, and all this crazy shit. What? Yo, the girls are crazy, and they were all in heat.
Yeah. So a couple more, and then we'll wrap it up. One that I feel like had a lot of issues with your boy on Rivals 3 and this challenge. I have high hopes for her in this one. I feel like she's going to do very well. What do you think about Miss Amanda?
Amanda could come off like she's bitchy. She definitely does. But I would talk to her, and I could tell I pissed her off because I wouldn't feed into it. I don't know if because you could tell she's sweet. But I don't know why she gives off that persona of her. I don't know if she does it to stay guarded or whatnot. But, she's actually really cute. She's a really cute girl, very cute. But obviously she had a boyfriend back home, so I would never entertain that. And, I felt like I saw a sweeter side of her because, not really being so combative. Every time, she said something to me, I'd say something smart back. You know what I mean? But not let's get in an argument. I remember one time she was, arguing with Tony. I was, trying to calm her down. But, ultimately – and this is my opinion, she's a sweet girl. I think that bitchy attitude is for show.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you heard or saw this. She and Tony got into big time Rivals 3 because the whole, which show's better, Real World, Are You the One?
I don't know. See, I personally don't care. Are You the One, Real World? I get that the casting parts are different, and I feel like Real World's more extensive. And I mean, at the end of the day, It's a challenge. Like throw whoever you want into it. It doesn't affect me. I don't care.
Yeah. So a couple more people, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'm definitely glad to chat with you again. Let's talk about Kayla, somebody who made a big splash on the first episode. I feel like she's going to be somebody to watch in these upcoming episodes, somebody that won't take any crap from anybody. So what were your thoughts about Miss Kayla?
I've actually like randomly talked to Kayla, not like really nothing prior, and I feel like she definitely sets herself up for those situations. I mean, she does have a big mouth, and I said that to her. I'm like, you gotta learn like when to keep quiet. And I remember one night like she was crying. I felt bad. I was just sitting on the beach. She's like, oh, I guess this is what you felt like being like the black sheep or whatever. And I was like, listen, I was like, maybe I'm real not here. I was like, I have no issues. And I told her, I was like, listen, you got to learn to keep to yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, that's why a lot of these girls are coming at you. So I don't know. I get to, I don't know whether it's jealousy. I don't know what it is. You know, I can't really sit there and say for the women's side, but I get why a lot of the girls went at her. But, you know, especially with the first challenge, she definitely proved herself. I remember going into, she's like, you know what? And you guys are going to be shocked when I come back. Like, she wanted it. And she talked a big one, and she backed it up.
Damn right she did. She was one of the ones I liked from that Real World season. And I even liked her even after the fact. She blocked me for like a little bit, and then somebody told her to unblock me, and she did.
Yeah.
One of the ones from the season I liked, and I'm glad she was, if they had to bring one person on, like they brought Tony on for a couple of seasons, I'm glad they brought her on.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's good TV.
She's great TV. I love it. And I feel like once the champs come in, I want to see her and the Brazilian sensation go at it. Miss Camilla.
We'll see how that goes.
Were there ones from let's talk about the champs real quick. Were there ones from the champs? I mean, you heard that Banana, ZT, Darrell, and Zach, and then on the ladies' side you got Laurel, Cara Maria, Ashley, who obviously you know very well, and Camilla. Were there any of the ones that you were like, damn, I wish I would have been there to meet this person?
I mean, it would have been cool to meet like Darrell and CT because they're from Boston. You know, that's like basically home where I'm from. And like the one person I want to meet, honestly, is Kellyanne.
Ooh, got a soft spot for her, huh?
Isn't she vegan or something?
Oh my gosh, she's hot.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the prettiest ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw her tweet Tuesday night. She was like, I'm glad I missed this one because she was on the season that I brought up earlier, The Island, and that was not a fun challenge for the cast. I love that season, but that wasn't a fun one for them.
I liked it.
Yeah. So what's going on with you? Do you have anything going on that people should look out for? Are you going on spring break again? Is there anything that the people that are watching should look out for Bruno?
Listen, honestly, I'm just getting back on my feet. Just trying to stay grounded and focused right now. I haven't been really socializing. I became like real antisocial, but I mean, I'm trying to get back to where I was at once again, you know. And it's like a newborn, you know, starting all over. And I mean, I got a couple of things going on. Literally, a couple of my friends hit me up about flying me out to spring break, probably just for a week, and I will never, because I hosted spring break for over a month before, and I would probably never do it again for that long. But
was it at South Padre?
Yeah.
Who did you hang with at South Padre?
I was at Corey Wharton, JG, Nick Brown from Hollywood, and DJ Dupree.
Yeah.
It was dope.
I was hanging out with JG. That was one of my favorite. That's been one of my favorite guests to this day.
JG is too wrapped up in the girls. I mostly spend time with Corey.
Yeah.
But I don't blame him. That's what most people are there for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got such a bad rap with this challenge ever since what happened on Battle Alexis too. I wish it'd go away, but unfortunately, well, the fans are very like gun ho about
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and anybody could talk at the end of the day. But how many people are doing what we're doing? You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's breaking up.
Been a pleasure catching up with you. Where can people find you on all over social media?
The only thing I don't have is Facebook. My Twitter handle is Bruno GEEB.
Bruno G. Okay, I got it that time.
Yeah. And then my Instagram is just Bruno, the letter G, and Betancourt, Bruno G Betancourt. That's my Instagram, and that's really the only social media outlets I have. I do not have a Tinder. I got Snapchat, but I'm not really trying to have it blow up.
How's your relationship with your brother, real quick? How's your relationship with Brad?
We talk as much as we get. I mean, he moved again, and you know, we keep in contact. We've been good. You know, we have no issues, but he has his life, I have mine. We're naturally like distant people, but we literally been talking like quite a bit like this last week and everything.
Glad the real world helped you guys' relationship. That's great.
Yeah, definitely mended it.
Thanks so much, Bruno, and thanks everybody for tuning in. I definitely got to do this again real soon.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate it, Andrew.
All right, have a good one, Bruno, and thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time. I believe I'm speaking with Hunter sometime next week, so stay tuned for that, guys.
Later, man.